goodbye in the morning. You've already packed their lunch. You tell them to work hard in maths and behave in the classroom and also come straight back home. And then a few hours later, you get a phone call. It's not from your child, it's from the hospital. There's been an accident. All because somebody brought a knife into their school. Now that sounds like something that you'd probably expect in a violent country halfway across the world. It's happening here in Britain, inside our classrooms. Let me just take a moment to show you exactly what I mean. In northwest London, at Kingsbury High School in Brent, a 13-year-old boy walked into a school carrying a knife and insect spray. Now, according to the court proceedings, he sprayed one pupil in the face and stabbed another 13-year-old in the neck 3 times, leaving him with spinal fracture and very serious injuries. Then less than a minute later, he allegedly stabbed a 12-year-old boy in the corridor, cutting his neck. So that's 2 boys, 12 and 13-year-old, both rushed into hospital. The attacker, he's also 13 years old as well and was charged with 2 counts of attempted murder. Now to me, that's not playground violence. That is attempted murder in a British classroom. But sadly, this is not one isolated story. In Nottingham, at the Nottingham University of Science and Technology, the police were called into school about 1:30 in the afternoon. A 15-year-old boy had been stabbed on the grounds and rushed to hospital with serious injuries. Another 15-year-old boy was arrested at the scene. What was awful was parents later received an email from school telling them that the lessons would resume as normal the next day. Now imagine that. As if a stabbing inside a school is just another inconvenience in the timetable. And then just days later, another school in Norwich went into full lockdown after a teenage girl was stabbed. The teachers locked classrooms. Now students were told to stay inside and hide while the police rushed to the scene. This is what British schools have to prepare for. Lockdowns, police cordons, children hiding in classrooms while police officers are searching for somebody with a blade. This isn't a war zone, these are classrooms. And every time something like this happens, the same phrases appear. There's no wider threat. These people were known to each other. Or one of my favourites and the most offensive. It's an isolated incident. No, it's a script. Language designed to calm down the public before anyone starts asking the real questions. Because if the same isolated incident keeps happening across the country, then it isn't isolated anymore. It's a pattern. Knife crime involving teenagers has been rising across the UK for years. Schools are dealing with violence that many teachers privately say that they're not equipped to handle. Their authority has been weakened. Discipline has been weakened. And yet the political class, they seem obsessed with something else entirely. We have police units actively monitoring speech online. We have people investigated over tweets. We have workers dragged through HR departments because they said something politically incorrect that somebody else was offended by. But when it comes to the most basic responsibility of any state, and that's protecting our women and children, the system suddenly becomes powerless. How the hell are knives making their ways into the classrooms and students ending up in hospital? We got parents left wondering whether the school gates are still a place of safety, and at the rate this is going, I don't think they are, because the first duty of any country is very simple: protect its children. And if a nation cannot guarantee that a child can sit in a classroom without the threat of a knife attack, then something has fundamentally gone wrong. This isn't just about politics. It's about order, it's about safety, and it's about whether the government still has control of the country it is supposed to run. Because right now, too many parents are looking at the news and asking themselves that terrifying question: is my child safe at school? And if that question keeps getting harder and harder to answer, then Britain's got a serious problem. And we cannot take our children out of school without the threat of fines, court appearances, and in most cases, if a child is being homeschooled now, the council, they have been told to challenge the far-right narrative. Far-right narrative because we can give our children a much better education than the schools can. Now listen, if you want more stories like this, the ones that the media rushes past and the politicians they don't want to talk about, then this channel is where you're going to break them all.